Your future self is calling to you right now. Your future self is pulling you into the future that you most desire. There is a higher self. There are higher aspects of you. There is a future you that exists right now that you have to meet right now in this present moment. Feeling is the secret, Neville Goddard. Very much comes into the game that we're playing here. The importance of the feeling that accompanies what you are growing into. When you start to clear the channels, when you start to feel like you're progressing forward, there is a cracking of the dam. There is a letting loose and releasing of all the sensations, the feelings, the little nuances that are going to help you be pulled into that future vision of yourself. And this is a gradient process which happens gradually. It will start very subtly to start with. But like with anything, it builds more and more momentum. Sensations start becoming stronger within. The pull for you to shed this layer that you have now and move into this new timeline. And that's what it is. And that's why it's really important to meet your future self now, because it's not someone over there. It's that person here now. It's the shifting of timelines, the shifting of the skin of what you're wearing now, which has very much been manufactured and created by past experiences and past responses within your nervous system. And this, my friends, is very much the evolution of your nervous system from a collective stance and an individual stance. The old story that's been prevailing for all of us individually and collectively is now being in a stage where it is no longer serving us within the greater evolution of us as a species. We are moving into higher dimensions individually and collectively. And these higher aspects are, we could call them your future self, but it's not a future self that is over there. It's a future self that you meet right here, right now, with the changes that are happening within you right now. The chemistry that is happening within you now. The evolutionary development of your nervous system to go from survival mode into the spiritual domain, the exiting of the survival paradigm, which has very much shaped our individual and collective lives. So our future self is now the blossoming and cracking open of our true heart desires. The lives that we truly desire to live is what we are growing into, what we are evolving into as a natural way of being. And we are working through this now. How do you know if you're starting to get communication from these higher aspects, from your future self? They can come with feelings, it can come with thoughts, it can come with images within your consciousness, which you start to notice and recognize that is accompanied by something that feels good within you. Something flashes across your consciousness. Maybe that's the vision of what you want out of your life, something that feels so good for you. Maybe it's accompanied with a little bit of fear. Maybe there's a little bit of fear there, but now there's like this blossoming of excitement, of potentiality and possibility that accompanies with it. And in the beginning phase, there may be a little bit more fear. There may be a little bit more doubt. There may be a little bit more uncertainty of if this is actually possible, what is coming into my consciousness right now, the downloads that you're receiving within this human embodiment. in the distant past, it would have been an absolute impossibility, but now something's happening within you, that there's this revealing of safety, certainty, possibility, infinite potentiality. And it's with this ebb and flow between fear and excitement, we can use that contrast, that we become more and more certain with the momentum of our life to such a degree, even when the contrast feels so drastic with where we are now to what our future self is calling us into. It's calling us into the life of our dreams, but what if we're not? None of that's happening now. That's where the deepening of faith comes into the journey. And where that faith, we have this creation of excitement, of gratitude, of love, of forgiveness. All these higher aspects and higher qualities that we now have access to are our shepherds through this process. And sometimes it can feel like a bit of a void. There's this void-like space, this gap that we have, that we feel is massive between where we are now to where these downloads that are coming in, it feels so far away. That starts to get closer and closer together. The gap gets smaller to such a degree that we start to be so present and aware within the eternal now. And it's within that deep sense of awareness of this now moment where all the magic happens. It's within those deeper moments of awareness and realizations that we attract in everything we need for us to move forward and evolve and grow and shed this layer of skin that no longer serves us, that doesn't feel like it serves us anymore. And there's a pull that's happening within. And this is happening individually and collectively. We're evolving, we're moving forward, we're humans, we're here to grow, to learn, to evolve, to shed layers of skin, sometimes more louder than others. Sometimes it's gentle, but sometimes it's bang, we're going to do this now, and lots of things are going to happen to galvanize the process. But just you being here now, listening to this video, is such a big sign that your future self is calling you, that wants to be closer to you. And this is such a powerful journey of self-love, because we have to bring everything into wholeness. We have to love where we are, where and who we are now, whilst also simultaneously loving where we're growing into. It's really important. We're bringing that together, and sometimes it can feel at moments quite polarized and very extreme in contrast. The pendulum can be one side to the other, and it can feel massively different. But through self-love and self-forgiveness, we bring these all together to accelerate the journey. Because when we start to bring this together, the journey becomes quicker. The momentum starts to become quicker and quicker and quicker. And then all of a sudden, things, everything, people, person, situation, circumstances, everything starts to resolve and become more aligned with that future aspect. But the future aspect isn't over there. They are with you whole in one right now. You meet everything in the now. Everything is here right now to help you through this process. And it will be a gradient change, and there'll be this varying ebb and flow of things going well, things being destructive, things, just unfolding sometimes with an air of like profound uncertainty. But the momentum pulls you more and more into, even in the uncertainty, you become more certain. Even when the external world is reflecting chaos, maybe, there is this underlayer of certainty that you know where you're being pulled into. So trust, my friends, trust where you're being pulled into. Trust the unseen reality that is shepherding you through this process. My name's Alex. I'm a nervous system coach, helping people through this process. And I'm already can't wait to see you in the next video.